Buenas noches todos. Hi everyone. It's Jennifer from Fine Fluency here. And sorry I'm a little bit late this evening. I have just recorded the whole lesson, which was 20 minutes, and then going to check it to post it for you and realise that my share screen hadn't worked, my screen share hadn't worked. So I'm now on to my second attempt, hoping that this works this evening. I'm a little bit late. I've had my friend's birthday this weekend, so we were out yesterday and had a little spa day and celebrating, and then we've been out looking at cars today, looking for golden retriever friendly cars that the dog's going to be able to get in and out of easily, and so on and so forth. So it's just been a little bit hectic and I've just not got to the lesson yet. However, here we are, we're here now, and I'm really hoping this recording works because I need to get to my bed too. So hopefully this is going to work tonight, and I've got mini lesson 11 here for you, and we're going to be doing the verb Gustar, el verbo gustar en español. I thought that it might be useful for some of you to understand how this verb works. It's also part of a wider group of verbs that all work in the same way. So once you understand this one, you're going to be able to apply the rules and be able to use the other verbs. And this is the whole thing about the benefits of learning grammar that I've been talking about the fact that once you know the rules, you can then apply them and use the language more flexibly and say more of what you want to say rather than being stuck to, well, I know this phrase and I can't change it. So we're going to look at the verb gustar. Some of you may already know that it works differently from other verbs. You might be aware of that already, and I'm hoping that by the end of the lesson today, you will understand a bit more about why that is what it is, how the verb works, and how to use it more accurately, and being a bit more confident with it, basically. So, en esta lección vamos a aprender cómo usar el verbo gustar en español. Very simple, one aim today, to be able to use this verb properly, okay? So an explanation of the verb. Gustar is the verb to like in Spanish. And you probably know that already. We've seen it, we've used it. We only ever see gustar as gusta or gustan, never gustamos or gustas, for example. So we're always seeing gustar in the third person of the verb. So only gusta and gustan in the present tense that is. So when I say present tense, in case people aren't sort of familiar with that, I mean, we're talking about the now. So it's not will, it's not did in the past, I liked. It's not that, it's I like, we like, he likes, she likes. So in the present tense, we only ever see gusta or gustan, the third person part of the verb. The reason for this is that it just works in a completely different way from other verbs. Okay, so further explanation of that. Essentially, in English, we say, I don't know, I like the house, or I like the houses in Spain. In Spanish, they sort of invert it and they say it in a different way, and they say, the house is pleasing to me, the houses are pleasing to me. So what that does is it really changes who in the sentence is doing the action, and therefore it changes the way that the verb looks, because we should know by now, because we've done tener and ser, if you've been following the mini lessons, you should know by now that usually the verb in Spanish changes depending on who it is that's doing the action. But gustar is a bit different because it changes based on the thing that is being liked, okay? So it's a bit different. So we use the A ending when the subject of the sentence is singular. So just to drill into that a little bit more, and we'll do this in the next slide too, the subject of the sentence is the thing that is being liked, okay? So we use the A ending when the thing that's being liked is singular. So in this sentence, me gusta el perro, ends in A, me gusta el perro. El perro, we can see if you've done the last lesson and the lesson before that, 9 and 10, you know that el is singular, perro is singular, it's not got an S on the end. So because el perro is singular, it's me gusta, it's not me gustan. Okay? We use the an ending, therefore, when the subject of the sentence, the thing that is being liked, is plural. So, me gustan los perros. And again, if you've been following the lessons, you'll know that los indicates that something's plural. Perros with an S on the end, means that it's plural. So therefore, we say, me gustan los perros. So the dog is pleasing to me, the dogs are pleasing to me. So we change gusta to gustan when the subject's plural. So looking a little bit more in detail at that and just breaking these sentences down to clarify it a little bit. Me gusta el perro. Let's look at the different elements of the sentence, if you like. So we've got me, which here is an indirect object. We've got gusta, which is the verb. We've got el, which is the article, and we should know our articles from the last couple of lessons. And we've got perro, which is the subject. So crucially, if we were working it the way that we work it in English, we would say I like, and the verb like would change depending on the I. You like, it would change for you. He likes, she likes, like changes depending on who it is that's doing the action. In Spanish, we can see here, it's el perro, which is really dictating the way that the verb looks like. It's not the I, you, he, she, we. It's the thing that's being liked. It's the thing that's doing the pleasing. So it's el perro that is really acting in this sentence. The dog is pleasing to me. And then further, me gustan los perros. The dogs are pleasing to me. I like the dogs. Again, me is an indirect object. Gustan is the verb. Los is the article. And perros, with an S, is the subject. So again, because perros is plural, it becomes gustan. The verb changes because perros are the subject in the sentence. The dogs are pleasing to me. So it changes to gustan. Now this is a very, very classic example of what I'm always talking about to you guys, about getting out of the English mindset. And when I say that, please don't take offence if I've got English. I know I'm Scottish, but please don't take offence if I've got English people in the group. When I say that, what I mean is get out of the English speaking mentality. So we very much want to say something in English and then we immediately go, well, how do I say that in Spanish? I know what I'll do. I'll just translate that directly into Spanish. But it just doesn't work like that. Things are structured differently, verbs work in different ways, and it's very, very important to try, and I know that it's really hard when you're a beginner, but to try not to approach things from perspective of, right, this is how I say it in English, I'm just going to translate that straight into Spanish. Rather, the approach that you want to take is more, how would they say that in Spanish? This is how I say it in English. How would they say that in Spanish? That's the approach, and that's the attitude you kind of have to be successful, I think, truly. So this is a very typical example of that, I think, because we want it just to work the way it does in English, because that would be easier, but it just doesn't, unfortunately, right? So the full verb, I've given you the full verb here. You may never have to really use this, some of you, depending on how far and how intricate and developed your conversations are with people, but you might only ever really need the I like and you like bit for saying what you like and asking somebody else what they like. However, I always think for you to be able to deepen your knowledge, and if you want to take it further, it's always good to provide the whole thing. So me gusta or me gustan, I like, or it's pleasing to me. Te gustan, you like, or is pleasing to you. Le gustan, he or she likes, or you, the usted form, like. Nos gusta, nos gustan, we like, or it's pleasing to us. Os gusta or os gustan, you, plural informal, like, or it's pleasing to you. Les gusta, les gustan, they like, or you, plural formal, the ustedes form, it's pleasing to them or pleasing to you. So you'll see here, the verb effectively looks the same no matter who is doing the action. It's always going to be either gusta or gustan. What you need to remember is that gusta is for the singular things that you like, and gustan is for the plural things that you like or that other people like. Okay, so if this is all going a little bit over your head at this point, what I want you to take away from the lesson is gusta for singular items, gustan for plural items. So usually when you're using this verb, you're talking about a thing or a noun that you like. Las casas, los animales, la comida, las bebidas, el vino, right? So it's usually a noun. Sometimes though you do use these verbs for talking about an activity that you might like. So it might be a verb that follows. So me gusta leer los libros, me gusta ver la televisión, me gusta ver películas, por ejemplo, me gusta ir de compras, me gusta hacer natación, this kind of thing. Now, if it's followed by an action, you use the singular version. So you always use me gusta if it's followed by an action or a verb, okay? So gusta is for singular nouns or verbs, infinitives, actions. And gustan is for plural nouns. So if that's all that you remember from this lesson, then that's really good. And that's actually probably more than what you knew before you started watching the lesson, okay? Okay, so bearing that in mind, that we use gusta for singular nouns or for verbs and actions, and we use gustan for plural ones, let's see if you can work out, would we use Gusta or Gustan? So, ir de vacaciones, we've got a verb there. Is it Gusta or Gustan? Me gusta, me gustan. El chocolate, is it me gusta el chocolate or is it me gustan el chocolate? So you've got to work out here, would I use Gusta or Gustan? You can write them down or just do it orally as we go through. I'm not going to give you the answers. Well, I am, but at the end, I'm not going to give you them as we go through. Number 3, el helado. Singular there, el helado. Would we use Gusta or Gustan? Los cócteles, Gusta or Gustan? La música, Gusta or Gustan? Las costumbres españolas. If we're not sure what they are, it's actually Spanish traditions, Spanish customs. Plural. Hablar español. We've got another verbal construction there, to talk Spanish. I like to talk Spanish. I like talking Spanish. El sol. Singular noun there. The sunshine. So is it Gusta or Gustan? If you've not done these or you want to take another couple of minutes just to look over them and go through them again, please pause now because I'm going to do answers. Okay, las soluciones, answers. So, ir de vacaciones, it's me gusta ir de vacaciones, or nos gusta ir de vacaciones. We like going on holiday. Whoever it is that's doing the action, it's always going to be gusta here. So, number 1 is gusta. Number 2, el chocolate, it's singular, so it's gusta. 3, el helado, again, singular, so it's gusta. Los cócteles, it's plural, so it's gustan. La música, singular, it's Gusta. Las costumbres españolas, Spanish traditions, it's plural, so it's Gustan. Hablar español, it's a verb. So verbs, if you'll remember, are Gusta, not Gustan. So it's me gusta hablar español. 8, el sol, singular, so it's me gusta. So hopefully we've got those all correct. So just to go over them again, 1 is Gusta, 2 is Gusta, 3 is Gusta, 4 is Gustan, 5 is Gusta, 6 is Gustan, 7 is Gusta, 8 is Gusta. Okay, en pareja, slightly more challenging, this, I think. Matching up the number and the letter, we've got the Spanish sentence on the left and we have the English sentence on the right. Just writing number 1, D, for example, that's fine. You don't need to write the whole thing out. Some people find it helps them, but you don't have to. So, you might have to look up what some of the words mean. Pastel, dulces, películas, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously you've got English meanings there that'll help, but if you're not sure, feel free to look them up. And as always, if you're having to look up a word, please write it down in Spanish and English. Please have somewhere that you're keeping your vocab and that you can refer back to and learn it as you go along, okay? So number 1, le gusta el pastel. Number 2, nos gustan las playas. Number 3, te gusta la comida española. Number 4, les gusta ver películas. Number 5, me gustan los dulces. Number 6, no nos gusta el fútbol. Number 7, os gustan los animales. And number 8, les gustan las películas americanas. So matching these up with our correct answers on the right. Again, if you do not want answers or you're not ready for them, please pause and please play again when you're ready for answers, because I'm going to do the answers now. Okay, so number 1, le gusta el pastel is he or she likes cake. So that one is 1C. Number 2, nos gustan las playas is H. Number 2 is H, we like beaches. Number 3, te gusta la comida española is F. 3F, do you like Spanish food? Number 4, les gusta ver películas is B. They like watching films. 4 is B. Number 5, me gustan los dulces. Me gustan los dulces is G. I like sweets. Number 6, no nos gusta el fútbol is D. We don't like football. So I've made that one negative. If you want to make it negative, you just add no in front of it. No nos gusta el fútbol. 6 is D. We don't like football. 7, os gustan los animales? Question. Number 7 matches up with A. Do you like animals? And number 8, les gustan las películas americanas, matches up with E. They like American films. Okay, 8E. Hopefully you've got some of those or most of them correct. If not, please feel free to refer back and watch the lesson again and ask any questions that you may have. I'm more than happy to answer. So other verbs that work in the same way as Gustar. Now, there are quite a lot, there's quite a large group of them, but I've just chosen the main sort of 5 or 6 that I think are most important to you. I don't want us to get overwhelmed, and I think it's already quite a lot to have taken in how Gustar works. And you will be able to apply those rules after a bit of practice, but I've just chosen the 5 or 6 that I think are most important for you at this stage. So, interesar, to be interesting to somebody. Molestar, to be annoying or bothersome to somebody. Importar, to be important to somebody. Encantar, to love. Quedar, to remain or to be left. So is there any cake left? Is there any wine left? And faltar, to be missing or to lack or to be lacking in something. So these are some quite nice verbs that expand your vocabulary, and if you can use them accurately, it's really just really nice to be able to use them. Okay, los deberes, vale, los deberes. Para vosotros or para ustedes. Trying to write 5 sentences in Spanish about your likes and dislikes. Why not share some of them on the group as well? That's what the group's for. The group's not all about me leading and me telling you what to do and me telling you things. You guys can obviously also contribute too. So what I might do is towards the end of the week, once everybody's or a lot of you have had a chance to sort of watch the lesson and digest it, I might sort of suggest as a little extra activity, okay, tell me some of your likes and dislikes. So share some of your stuff on the group. Feel free to make up some sentences and share them with us. It would be really good. And always delighted to hear from you as well. So that's your homework for this week, if you can. So just to recap what we've done, we've had a look at the verb gustar and a few other verbs in that group, and we've looked at how the verb works. And just as a takeaway, if I was to say just to remember one thing, it would be remember, number 1, Spanish doesn't work like English, so don't try to directly translate. And number 2, with gustar and encantar and these verbs, you really want to just remember singular ends in a, gusta, encanta, plural ends in an, me gustan, me encantan. So singular, the a ending, plural, the an ending. And if we remember nothing else, and we remember that, that's still a success, okay? Well done, guys. Thanks so much for joining me, and apologies for the lateness of the lesson. I promise that I'll try and get my act together next week, and hopefully it'll be a little bit earlier, and it won't be Monday morning, for example. And here's hoping that this recording's worked this time. If you're not already on the Facebook group, I'll put the link underneath this video, and please feel free to try and join the group. And if you have any questions or comments, obviously always really, really delighted to hear from you. Okay, muchísimas gracias. Adiós.